evening. This is KC1CLA, that's Kilo Charlie 1 Charlie Lima Alpha. My name is Ed, Echo Delta, and I live in the town of Belmont, Massachusetts, and I'm net control for this week's Minuteman Repeater Association's Technical, Informational, and Other Stuff net. This net meets weekly at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on the linked repeaters of the system has over 20 repeaters on the 10 meter, 6 meter, and 2 meter bands, 1 1/4 meters, as well as 70 centimeters and 33 centimeters, plus Echolink as well. We also have a few affiliated repeaters that can be linked. Most of these repeaters are capable of being linked into one large system for public service and emergency communications. The primary purpose of this net is to test this linked system. This net also allows for the exchange of any technical, informational, or other stuff related to ham radio that the members of the net wish to announce or discuss. I'm going to break for a moment to allow the repeaters to reset. More to follow. In a moment, I will up the list of repeaters by frequency, and I will accept check-ins from each repeater. I will then proceed back up the list, asking for comments from each of the stations that have checked in. Note that I will ask for check-ins from the MMRA 10 meter, 6 meter, and 2 meter repeaters, then 220 megahertz repeaters, Echolink, and then MMRA 440 and 900 megahertz repeaters. After the MMRA repeaters, I will call the 10 repeaters of the New Hampshire affiliate, November 1 India Mike Oscar, November 1 India Mike November Network, up in New Hampshire. This next point is very important. When checking in, please wait a good 3 seconds after keying up your mic before you start speaking, as there are many links that are interconnecting. Then say, "This is," then break to check for doubling, key up again, wait that 3 seconds, and give your call, your name, and your location. Note that phonetics for your call sign are often advantageous, and if you would do so slowly, for me, that would be very advantageous, so thank you. This is an open system. All licensed amateur radio operators are invited to check in. If you can hear me, you can check in. I'll now start with check-ins on the Marlboro 10 meter and 6 meter repeaters. Please call now.
This is November 1, Delta Charlie Hotel on 6 meters.
All right, good evening, DCH. I have you on the log there. Welcome to the net. I'm going to move up now to the 2 meter band. The MMRA operates a number of repeaters in this band, each of which has a field tone of 146.2 with one exception, and I'll tell you about that when we get there. So we'll begin with check-ins on the Belmont 2 meter repeater. That happens to be the machine I'm transmitting through tonight. The frequency in Belmont is 145.43 megahertz. Stations wishing to check in on Belmont, please call now.
Here is Kilo 1 Uniform Victor Hotel. That's K1 UVH, Mike and Hingham on Belmont tonight.
This is K1 BTZ Jonathan in Brighton. This is
Whiskey 1 Lima Alpha India Charles in Somerville.
all right. That might be the best check-in we've ever had in Belmont, the largest number, or at least in recent times. So we've got Mike, K1 UVH from Hingham, good signal Mike from Hingham. We've got Jonathan. Jonathan's one of our net controls, K1 Bravo Tango Zulu. And we've got Charles over in Somerville, Whiskey 1 Lima Alpha India. Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks very much for checking in. I'm going to move now to the Mendon repeater. The frequency in Mendon is 146.61 megahertz. Stations wishing to check in on Mendon, please call now.
This is Kilo
Charlie 1, Delta, Oscar, Delta. Matthew and Foxborough on the Menden repeater. Back to KC1, CLA.
All right, good evening, Matthew, KC1 DOD, Kilo Charlie 1, Delta Oscar Delta, good evening. We have you in the log. Thanks for checking in. I'm going to move now to the Quincy repeater. Quincy's at 146.67 megahertz. Station's wishing to check in on Quincy. Please call now.
There is N1 YIA, Dave and Quincy, good evening to the net, 6-7.
Whiskey Bravo 1, Echo Mike Sierra, Joe in Milton, Massachusetts, on the Quincy 6-7 repeater. Good evening.
And this is KC1 CLA. Good evening, Dave, N1 YIA, and Joe, WB1 EMS. Good evening, gentlemen. Thanks very much for checking in. Any additional check-ins on Quincy 2 meters, please call now. All right, we're going to move up now to North Reading 2 meters. The frequency in North Reading is 146.715 megahertz. Station's wishing to check in on North Reading 2 meters. Please call now.
This is Alpha Charlie 2 India Romeo Ted and Lincoln. Back to net.
All right, good evening, Ted. Alpha Charlie 2, India Romeo. We have you in the log, coming in from the town of Lincoln on North Reading. Move now to the Weston repeater. Frequency in Weston is 146.79 megahertz. Stations wishing to check in on Weston 2 meters, please call now. All right, nothing on Weston 2 meters. We're going to move down to the Boston repeater. So the frequency in the Boston repeater is 146.82 megahertz. The PL tone into Boston, or strike that into Brookline, is 146. The PL tone into the Back Bay area, the Prudential Center, is 127.3. So stations wishing to check in on Boston, 146.82. Please call now. All right, nothing on Boston. Move now to Billerica. The frequency up in Billerica is 147.12. Stations wishing to check in on Billerica 2 meters, please call now.
Number 1, Charlie, Victor, Oscar, Sean, in Lower Mass. Good evening.
All right, good evening, John. Coming in from Lowell on the Billerica repeater. We have you in the log. November 1, Charlie, Victor, Oscar. Good evening. I'm going to move now to the Marlboro 2-meter machine. The frequency out there in Marlboro is 147.27 megahertz. Stations wishing to call on Marlboro 2 meters, please call now.
This is WA1 MDD.
is K1, KDP.
All right, we have Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Delta Delta. John, good evening, John. And then there was another station that I had a hard time reading. The audio was very light, and I didn't catch that. So that other station, if you could come back again, please call now.
Is this any better? Hold on. So this is K1K repeat. Now I'm on 925. By the way, 81 has very low transmit power, it seems. I can barely hear it at all. And I verified it, every other 6-meter repeater just fine on my radio, so it's not me. Back to that, K1K to repeat.
And this is KC1 CLA. Kevin, much better that time. Thanks very much. I had a hard time reading you on 2 meters, which is probably me more than it is the repeater. All right, Kevin, thanks very much. Good signal there in from 925. Any additional check-ins on Marlboro 2 meters, please call now. All right, we'll move now to the 220 band. There are 4 repeaters in this band. 23.94 megahertz. In Quincy at 224.40 megahertz. In Weston at 224.70 megahertz. And in Burlington at 224.88 megahertz. Stations wishing to check in on any one of these 220 machines, please call now and let us know which machine you're coming in on.
Here is Whiskey 1, Delta Yankee Juliet, Larry in Woburn on Burlington 220.
All right, good evening, Larry. W1DYJ, we have you in the log, coming in on Burlington and a good signal there. I'm going to move now to Echolink. During the net, it's the New England 2 Net 9127. So, stations wishing to check in on Echolink, please call now. And just as a reminder, when you key your mic, wait about 3 seconds before you start speaking, and maybe a little bit longer if you're coming in on Echolink, because I think the delay there might be a little bit longer. So, stations wishing to check in on Echolink, please call now. And this is KC1 CLA, so nothing on Echolink. I'm going to move up to the 70 centimeter band, also known as 440 megahertz. Each of these repeaters, some of these repeaters have a local PL, but if you want to get into the net, you need to use the PL of 88.5. So these repeaters are in Lowell at 442.25 megahertz, in Weston at 442.700 megahertz, in North Reading at 446.775 megahertz, in Hopkinton at 449.575 megahertz, and in Marlboro, at 449.925 megahertz. Stations wishing to check in on any one of these 70 centimeter machines, please call now and let us know which machine you're coming in on.
Here is November 1, Golf Whiskey Yankee. It's November 1, Golf Whiskey Yankee. I'm really pleased with that, and I'm not feeling too well tonight, so I'm going to just be in and out. So take care, everybody. I hope you enjoy yourself, and good luck. Have a good week. N1GWY is clear.
Is
And this is KC1CLA. Bill, thanks for checking in. We've got you in the log. We will have you as being in and out. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well, so I hope you feel better. Take care of yourself and hope to hear you again next week. N1GWI, we have you in the log. I'm going to now move to the 900 megahertz band. The MMRA operates 2 repeaters in this band. They are in Boston and in Marlboro. So stations can check on one of these 900 megahertz machines. Please call out.
This is November 1, Hotel Bravo Romeo on 440 Marlboro.
Whiskey 1 Lima Sierra Victor, Larry and Worcester on the Hopkinton repeater.
All right, and this is KC1CLA. So we have November 1 Hotel Bravo Romeo, and we have Larry out in Worcester, Whiskey 1 Lima Sierra.
Larry.
Excuse me, I'm going to now call on the New Hampshire repeater network, the November 1. Follows the group. Again, I would just remind all parties when you are checking in, when you key a mic, wait about 3 seconds before you start speaking. That lets all the links connect, and then we can hear everything you have to say. So, stations wishing to check in on any one of the New Hampshire repeaters, please call now.
Repeater in Pittsfield, New Hampshire.
Checked in on the Pittsfield, New Hampshire repeater 146790, and I'm afraid that station got caught in the links a little bit. So if you could come back and just give your call and your name again. I'm calling that station that checked in on Pittsfield, New Hampshire.
Roger.
So that New Hampshire station, all I copied was Bravo and G as in George. So I don't know if there's something going on with the link there, but that's all I copied. Your audio.
There. Maybe this one will go through. I'm not sure. We'll give it one more try. Kilo Charlie 1.
it 20 times, we'll stop. And I'm standing by. Back to net.
George, I believe. But I'll circle back as we make our way up to the list. Once again, this is KC1CLA. This is the Minuteman Repeater Association. So, Dave, good evening. Your comments for tonight.
KC1CLA and the net. There. We do have a meeting tomorrow night. Talk there. We also have one person that upgraded to extra. License expiry at the retake technician. And the time is not written down on this note. Oh. Someone else can look at the website real quick and correct me. Send us, you can inside the event this year. And finally, my usual get a newsletter for tomorrow's meeting since they if you
right, Dave, thanks very much for all of that information. So you were certainly readable, and but you kind of would drop out just for an instant, just for a second. So you'd have a clear transmission with a little bit of a buzz in the background, then sort of drop, and then come right back up and drop, and then come right back up throughout that transmission. Completely readable, but just a little bumpy there, just so you know. I'm going to BH, who's coming up to the Belmont repeater from Hingham. Good evening, Mike. Your comments for tonight's net.
Somebody forgot. Somebody. These things happen, Ed, as you know. Anyways, topic two. Tons of munchkins. Another great time. Played 10 meters into South America after building a 10-meter dipole out of I do boat trailers, and there was a bunch of trailer wire in the big red trailer of the Great Hill Gang. Anyways, I thought I'd check in. I can hit every repeater on 2 meters, and I think I'm even hitting Hollis, New Hampshire. Back to net control from K1UVH, Mike and Hingham.
And this is KC1CLA. So, Mike, a great signal to Belmont there, and it sounds like it's quite the feed down there at the Great Hill Gang. So that's good to know as well, and always good to hear how that goes there, and the communications all the way down to South America. That sounds pretty awesome as well. Mike, thanks very much for checking in. We have Jonathan. Jonathan's one of our net controllers. Kilo 1 Bravo Tango Zulu. Good evening, Jonathan. Your comments for tonight's net.
K1 BTZ. Was in Florida last week visiting my parents and my sister, and it was nice to have an extra more than an hour of daylight every day. That was even more of a pleasant thing than the weather. Not much going on ham radio-wise. Well, actually, I mentioned this last time. I did a radio merit badge for some scouts that were having an event at the last week of December. So first time I'd done that in a couple of years, so it was good. And that's, I guess, about it. Back to net.
All right, Jonathan, thanks for checking in. You know, I often wonder how we could go about getting young people involved in the hobby, and it sounds like the merit badge for the Scouts is a way to do that. Was there a lot of interest in that? Was there a lot of participation? You know, was it a big group that was working on that merit badge on ham radio, Jonathan?
We had, I think there were about 3 or 4 kids who actually earned the badge, a few others sitting in on part of the sessions. It was not a huge group at this event. It was maybe on the order of 20 to 30 kids overall. So percentage-wise, pretty decent. There were a lot of things they were interested in terms of some of the radio theory and stuff. But unfortunately, I didn't really get much interest in how can we get licensed? That's they thought it was kind of cool to use the radios a little bit, but how do I get my license kind of thing.
Well, the exposure to to the radio hobby and radio theory, maybe that'll get some of them thinking about getting licensed. All right, Jonathan, thanks very much for checking in. Move now to Charles, W1 Lima Alpha.
Hey, good evening, W1LAI, Charles in Somerville. So my first time joining the net. Speaking of new hams, I was just licensed last spring and have been wading my way into the wonderful world of ham radio. At first it was a bit like drinking through a fire hose, so I had to put it away for a few months, but starting last fall, I picked it back up and picked up a 2-meter Yaesu off of QRZ, and I put a J-pole up on the roof and have been dipping my way further into the world, and it's been a lot of fun. I just picked up my first HF transceiver, and I'm just trying to figure out how to set it all up. There's a lot of pieces, as you all know. I'm trying to hold off on getting the right antenna to first think about grounding, and I gather that's probably a step. It was tempting for me to skip that step, and it might be a step others might not think about, and it's an interesting process, as you all know. So glad to be here. Hope to get more involved, and I'll send it back to the net.
And this is KC1CLA. Charles, welcome to the hobby, and welcome to the net. We're here every Tuesday at 8 p.m., and all licensed amateurs are welcome. So this net is a great resource, I think. I've been a ham for probably about 8 years now. This is one of the first nets I checked into, and it's been a great experience for me. I always learn a lot from the folks that check in here. So, Charles, again, congratulations on joining the hobby, and it's very exciting. And there is a lot of stuff to learn, and I appreciate the, there can be an awful lot to sort of figure out. That was at least my experience. So, Charles, good to hear you. Good signal there from Somerville over to Belmont. I'm going to move now to Matthew on the Menden repeater, KC1 Delta Oscar Delta. Good evening, Matthew. Your comments for tonight's net. KC1 Delta Oscar Delta, Matthew on the Menden machine. Matthew, you there? If you're there, come on back. All right, this is KC1CLA. Matthew, if you're there, I'll come back to you in a little bit. I'm going to move now down to Dave, N1YIA. Good evening, Dave. You're next on the net, coming in from Quincy.
Oh, good evening to the net. Oh, my batteries are getting a little low, it says. I don't have a whole lot, but just cleaning out. I got to stop my snow blower up. I do it every once in a while. So far, I haven't had to use it this year. I don't think anybody has. Let me drop. I enjoy ham radio a lot. I use the handy talkies or the handhelds. I can walk around with it, go places with it. I have a car in mobile, and home base, I guess. I have that one. I used that a couple of times. I still enjoy that. Nice radio. I got a nice shack to keep them nice and neat. Right now, I'm using the Realistic. I'll probably try the ICOM. I never try the Kenwood. I wonder if those are good. I don't own a Kenwood, but I like the ICOMs. And I have another one, too. but one of these days I should go up to the HRO and see what's up there. I haven't been there for a little while. I should go online and check it out too. See what they got. I'm always love to go up there. It's just that New Hampshire's a little further away from Quincy. I think it's only an hour. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying this weather. Anyway, N1YIA, got Dave here in Quincy. Back to the net.
And this is KC1CLA. Dave, so you can't go wrong with an ICOM and you can't go wrong with a Kenwood. I don't own either of those brands, but I've read a lot about them, and I think those are quality brands. And a trip up to Salem, New Hampshire is always very enjoyable. And I haven't started my snowblower yet. I can guarantee you we won't get much snow because I changed the oil in the snowblower and did all that sort of maintenance work on it back in November. And I knew right then and there it was such a pain in the neck to do that probably wouldn't snow this winter. And so far, I've been correct. And if I hadn't done any maintenance, it probably would have snowed a lot. Dave, always good to hear from you, and we'll talk to you again soon. I'm going to move now to Joe, WB1 EMS. Good evening, Joe. Your comments for tonight's net.
This is Whiskey Bravo 1, Echo Mike Sierra, Joe here in Milton. Good evening, all. Thanks for being here. Ed, I'll second K1UVH's comments. Definitely like you as net control and the format you do, and repeating back the call signs at each repeater so you know you checked in or got through. What else? I was up at Great Hill on cold, but quite a few people showed up. I'm sure Mike could give us the total number, but it was a full page of sign-ins, which was always good to see. And let's see, next weekend I think the Whitman Radio Club's having their Winterfest or Winter Flea, whatever it is, down the Knights of Columbus. I think it's on Route 18 in Weymouth, or out that way down towards Whitman, I should say. And I think the weekend after that there is something being done with, I don't know if it's Scouts per se, but I believe KM1MDY has got something going on up at Ponkapog in Canton, and I guess all are invited to stop by there, but I believe that's kind of directed towards the Scouts. And with that, I'll just say thanks again for everyone being here. WB1 EMS, back to net.
And this is KC1CLA. Joe, good to hear you checking in today. It sounds like it might have been a fairly cold day at the Great Hill Gang. I'm trying to remember what I was doing on Saturday, and I can remember it wasn't super cold, but the weather was a little bit inclement. So good for you folks being out down there, and good to hear you. This is KC1CLA. I'm going to move now to Ted, Alpha Charlie 2 India Romeo, who's coming to us by way of the North Reading repeater from the town of Lincoln. Good evening, Ted. Your comments for tonight's net. Alpha Charlie 2 India Romeo, Ted, if you're there, come on back. All right, Ted, we'll try and come back to it a little bit later. The next check-in was John, November 1 Charlie Victor Oscar, coming in on the Bill Ricker repeater. John, I think you're coming in from Lowell. N1 CVO, go ahead, sir.
This is N1 Charlie Victor Oscar, and actually I switched over to the Lowell repeater because I noticed it had a little stronger signal coming in. So, this is my favorite net so far. I got my original license in 1971 in the 9th grade, and I was mainly into traffic nets on HF and rag chewing at that time. Right now I'm living in a condo, and I'm kind of limited for antennas, but I really appreciate being here. And, I was wondering, does anybody else have Morse code notifications on their smartphones? That's it for me. Hello to everybody, and one CVO.
Well, a good signal there into Lowell and onto the net, so thanks for checking in there. And I do not have a Morse code notice on my phone, but a friend of mine does, and he has, I think everybody's first name or something in his contacts list is in Morse code. So so that's the only person I know that has had that, but that's a pretty neat feature. Sadly, I would not be able to tell who was calling because I have a long way to go before I can send and receive code. But do you have that on your phone, Sean?
Yes, I do. And I usually have first and last initials, and for Gmail it's GM, and if it's a plain SMS, it's just SMS, things like that.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, the ham I'm thinking of is he's up in Littleton. I can't remember his call sign, but he has that on his phone. I thought that was pretty cool. John, thanks again. Sean, thanks for checking in. Going to move now to Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Delta Delta. John in Lancaster. John is our club vice president. Good evening, John. Your comments for tonight's net. Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Delta Delta. John, if you're there, come on back. All right, we'll come back to you, John, in a bit. Kevin, K1KWP. Kevin is also one of our net controllers and is the club treasurer. Good evening, Kevin. Your comments for tonight's net.
Good evening, Ed, and everybody else. Let me make sure you got a good signal on me.
Yes, Kevin, a very good signal.
So, I guess it's a good thing we test the net, or test the repeater system. So, as I said before, 8.1 transmit power is very, very low. I essentially can't hear it from here, and I should be able to hear it about S9. Also, for a bunch of the beginning of the net, basically starting with Dave, DCH, I assume everybody noticed the system was pumping, keying itself up. Let me drop. So I thought maybe that was Dave coming in weak to 8.1, but I don't think so because it was happening more. It was happening a lot when you were taking check-ins from Belmont, but it seems to have calmed down now. So I guess that's my input for tonight's net. Oh, and by the way, Dave, I would say I probably only got about 20% of your transmission. So, anyways, with that, 73, I'll see everybody next week when I will be net control. K1K2.
and hopefully I will check in next week and talk to you then as well. I have noticed, off and on different, sort of a lot of chirps and beeps and what have you. Not so much now, as you said, it did calm down, but I did notice that at the beginning. Kevin, thanks again. I'm going to move now to Larry, W1DYJ, coming in on the Burlington 220 machine. Larry is the net manager and a net control. Good evening, Larry. Your comments for tonight's net.
Kevin, I've heard that also. 6-meter final is gone, we think. I can I know Dave and Bob can hear it because they're a lot closer. Sounds like the final's gone. We're probably going to have to replace it. Glad to know.
Anyone there?
I can hear, but not. So 10 meters tonight sounds a little muffled, but it sounds pretty decent. I'm on, obviously, 220. I also heard the pumping, and including all 4 of the... I heard it on the other 3 220s, mostly Burlington. 0.94. I heard it very loudly and on and off as if it was the cause of the thing. So, who knows? 220. Not much going on. Looking forward to the meeting tomorrow night. And back to you, Ed.
Thanks, Larry. Looking forward to your presentation tomorrow night as well. My hope is to zoom in for that. And as always, thanks for checking in and for the signal reports as well. I'm going to move now to November 1, Hotel Bravo 44. Comment. All right, N1 HBR, November 1, Hotel Bravo Romeo. If you're there, come on back, sir. All right, this is KC1 CLA. I'm going to move now to Larry from Worcester, Whiskey 1, Lima, Sierra Victor. Good evening, Larry. Your comments for tonight's net.
Yeah, good evening, Ed. Tonight I'm using the Hot 75, and occasionally it appears like the squelch is cycling itself on and off, and of course that's holding the transmitter on, but it doesn't happen every time, but every now and then, even though the links aren't calling from the transmitter to be on, it's cycling itself on and off, so just an FYI. Other than that, Ed, like you, I have my snowblower all tuned up and ready to go, and waiting for the big one, but maybe... But we're ready to go. W1LSB back to net control.
All right. We're squared away and good to go, and thanks for those reports on the operation of the net as well. This is KC1 CLA. The name here is Ed. Net control for this evening's Minuteman Repeater Association's Technical, Informational, and Other Stuff net. I'm going to now put out a call for any late check-ins. Any late check-ins, please call now. And again, I just would remind stations checking in that When you key your mic, wait about 3 seconds before you start speaking. That will let all the links connect, and then we can hear everything you have to say. So any late check-ins, please call now.
Here is Kilo Charlie 1, Papa Sierra Delta, David on the Marlboro 449925.
Here is.
All right, Kilo Charlie 1, Papa Sierra David. David coming in on the 925 repeater in Marlboro. Good evening, sir. Your comments for tonight's net?
Hi, thank you. One, following up on the first fellow who spoke, the Algonquin Flea Club flea market is February 18. That's the third Saturday in February. And other than that, all I got going on is studying for my extra exam. That's all I have. Back to net.
Well, David, good luck. Good luck with that. I have yet to get my general, so it sounds like you're a lot further along than I am, and good luck studying for your extra. This is KC1 CLA. I'm going to call again for any additional check-in, any additional comments from stations who've already checked in, and any late check-ins. Please call now.
Bravo 1, Bravo Golf. On North Reading 44165. Here is Whiskey 1, Hotel Fox Papa. Jason and Hudson on Marlboro 900.
One CLA, so I have Jason, Whiskey 1, Hotel Foxtrot Papa, and we had a station that was hard to read, a lot of static, and I couldn't quite make that out. So Jason, stand by. I'm just going to go back that station that just checked in or tried to check in just before you did. If that station can come back, please.
Kilo Bravo 1, India Bravo Golf. I was trying on North Reading 446. I'm now on Echolink.
All right, I have you there, KB1 India Bravo Golf. Good evening, sir. We have you there logged in, and Jason, Whiskey 1 Hotel Foxtrot Papa. We also have you logged in. So that first station, KB1 IBG, coming in on Echolink. Good evening. Your comments for tonight's net.
I've got no real comments. Just to say hi. I'm back on the air. By the way, this is Walter. I'm in Amesbury.
And one DOB radio check.
I, for some reason, can't get into the machines with my... So I came in through Echolink. I don't know why. I had to figure it out. But I really got no things. I've been off the air for a while. I'm just coming back. KB1 IBG.
And one OOZ radio check.
That station calling for radio check. Stand by for one moment, sir. Walter, thanks very much for checking in, and welcome back. KB1 IBG. Nice speaking with you. That station calling for radio check. If you could try again, sir, and just a little bit slow with your call sign, please. Thank you. And if you could do it phonetically, that would be helpful to me. That station calling for radio check. Please come on back. All right, this is KC1CLA. If that station comes back, I'll circle back to the station trying to get that radio check. I couldn't hear you that time. Jason, W1HFP. Jason's our club secretary. Good evening, Jason. Your comments for tonight's net.
All right, good evening, KC1CLA and the net. This is W1HFP. Jason and Hudson on Marlboro 900. Just kind of running around tonight. Didn't get a chance to check in earlier. Had a few errands to run, but did catch bits and pieces of the net here and there before leaving and jumping in the mobile. Some interesting clicks and beeps and some noises tonight, so we'll have to do some diagnosis there and see if we can make heads or tails of that. But other than that, I mentioned I am the club secretary. If there's any new hams that have got the technician license in the past 12 months, club would love to give you a free membership. So you can reach out to me at contact@mmra.org, and I'll help you get set up with a membership. And I think that's all I've got. 73 to all. Looking forward to the meeting tomorrow night, to Larry's talk. And have a great week, everybody. This is W1HFP, back to net control.
Jason, you might have dropped out there. W1HFP, come on back.
Ed, how about now? Are you copying me now?
Yes, sir, I have you now. Thanks.
Okay, well, I will keep it short. I'll just say good to hear everybody on the net tonight, and 73 to all, and I'm looking forward to the meeting tomorrow night. Please talk. W1HFP, back to net control.
All right, Jason, thanks very much. We got your transmission that time. Thanks very much for checking in. I just want to go back to 3 stations who had checked in who I was not able to raise when I was asking for comments and see if they're still there. So I've got KC1 Delta Oscar Delta Matthew, who was coming in on Minden. Matthew, are you still there?
Kilo Charlie 1, Mike, India, Yankee.
All right, that station KC1, Mike, India, Yankee. Good evening, sir. This is the Minuteman Repeater Association's Technical Information and Other Stuff net. Any comments for tonight's net, sir? All right, this is KC1CLA. I just want to put out one last call for other stations that have checked in. Alpha Charlie 2, India Romeo, Ted in Lincoln. Are you there? Still there, Ted? All right, and lastly, John in Lancaster, Whiskey Alpha 1, Mike Delta Delta. John, are you still there? This is KC1CLA, and I've been net control, and I'll just put up one last call for any additional comments from stations that have already checked in before I close the net. Any additional comments, please call out.
(9:00 p.m.) All
right, hearing no additional comments, this is KC1CLA. And I've been the Net Control, and this is the conclusion of this week's Minuteman Repeater Association's Technical, Informational, and Other Stuff Net. I want to thank all those stations that checked in, and thanks also to those stations who stood by while we held the net. Also, thanks to all those people in the MMRA whose behind-the-scenes actions make this repeater network possible. Please remember to update your information on the MMRA website if anything has changed. The Heavy Hitters Traffic Net starts at 10 p.m. I believe there's also a Traffic Net up in New Hampshire on our New Hampshire affiliate tonight. Stations are encouraged to stay on the air and utilize the network. This is KC1CLA. The name here is Ed. I'm located in the town of Belmont, and I will be clear. Larry, I will give you a count in a moment, or I can send you an email.
I'm still here, waiting for you. Take care. I'll listen. Bye. For now.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
W1DYJ, this is KC1CLA. The count, including myself, is 2121.
Said 21 it is. Got that, and that person who was asking for a microphone check just came on again without his call, so I can't give him a call, but there sounds like whoever that was, there is quite a bit of an echo on your signal, so I don't know what that means. It's almost like you have another radio turned on in the background. Anyway, this is W1DYJ. Thanks, Ed. And perhaps I'll sort of see you. I'm going to be in on Zoom tomorrow night because it's a lot easier to give a talk from my own station, my own computer. So I'll be on Zoom as well. Take care. This is W1DYJ.
MIY, can anyone read me?
You're just absolutely fine. This is W1DYJ. Could I have your call again, please?
There.
Heard one syllable there. Go ahead again, please. Hearing one syllable. Why don't you key up and wait a few seconds? You're on a network of 20 repeaters. I don't know which repeater you're coming in on, but it takes a while for the links to come up, so key up and wait about 3 seconds, and then why don't you give your call, please. Go ahead.
Mike, India, Yankee.
Well, I heard Mike, India, Yankee. I did not hear the beginning of the call, so something is interesting that if you were waiting 3 seconds, that's a bit weird. What repeater are you coming in on, sir? Handles Larry, Lima Alpha, Roger, Roger, Yankee.
One, Mike, India, Yankee.
One Mike, India, Yankee. Thank you. What repeater are you coming in on, sir? What repeater are you transmitting on?
You have 222.900 megahertz.
222.900. Just a second. Okay, well, we don't have a repeater on that frequency. Using a repeater that is close enough to one of our 4 220 repeaters. This is the Minuteman Repeater Association. You're on a repeater that's close enough to one of ours that we're getting some crosstalk, which is probably why you don't hear me very well and I don't hear you very well. I'm transmitting on 223.280. You would be hearing me on 224.900. 5.880. Check, whoever, Mike India Yankee again, this is W1DYJ. I would check to make sure you dialed in your repeaters properly. You may be on a frequency that really isn't a repeater. I don't have a list of repeaters in front of me, so I can't tell. But from what you told me, you should be receiving on a repeater that I don't think exists off the top of my head.
For negative.
This is Kilo 1 Uniform Victor Hotel, Mike and Hingham on the Hollis, New Hampshire repeater. Hollis, New Hampshire from Hingham.
DYJ, you sound really good getting up into New Hampshire from down where you are.
With 100 watts with the Comet G9 about 40 feet in the air, fed with half-inch heliox. Anyways, I can't hear the repeater coming back. That was me listening on Echolink. K1UVH from Hingham, Mass.
VH, well, I'm still on Burlington 220, and of course I'm hearing you via the link from up there to us. From up there to down here to over to me. So, I don't know. We have a lot of links going on here right now. So, take care. I got to go QRT. Glad to know you can make it up in there. It's W1DYJ.
K1UVH from Hingham, Mass. Clear on the Hollis repeater.
K1UVH, can you read me? This is KC1MIY.
Kilo Charlie 1. Mike India Yankee, I hear you loud and clear.
Beautiful, perfect. I'm not sure which repeater I'm operating on because it's been a long time since I've used my ham radio. I'm a general operator, so.
YJ, you're on Goffstown, I believe. Goffstown 224.5. MIY, this is W1DYJ. I finally tracked down where you are. There is a repeater. Sorry, I was wrong before. I think you're on the Goffstown repeater up in New Hampshire, 224.5. Does that make sense?
New Hampshire, KC1MIY.
Again, I'm not hearing what you first say because there's a lot of links being made and there's quite a delay. You need to really wait about 3 seconds after you key up before you say anything, or I just don't hear what you first say. But from what I can tell, you're coming in the repeater, the N1IMO, N1IMN network on Tuesday evenings at 8 o'clock is linked into the MMR8 network down here in Eastern Mass for a big net. So we have about 30 repeaters linked all together for a big net, and you've sort of got into the tail end of it, which is why some of us are hearing you. It looks like you're on the Goffstown 224.5 repeater, and that is linked into our system. So that's what's going on. Hope that helps you understand what's happening. You are getting in here pretty well, but because of all the links, there is a lot of delays. So that's why I was not hearing anything at the beginning. Anyway, this is W1DYJ in Woburn, Mass. I've got to get running. Thanks a lot, and drop in next Tuesday at 8 o'clock and join our net. This is W1DYJ.